Okay, let's talk about addictions and attachments. What are some examples? I mean, the sky's the limit, really. Sex addiction, porn addiction, masturbation addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, food addiction, dopamine addiction, and edging addiction, and money addiction, gambling addiction, shopping addiction, all that stuff. You can't live, though, nicotine addiction, caffeine addiction. You can't be in this human form and not be addicted to something on some level. I feel if you were totally pure, clean, like no nothing, I don't think you'd exist. You just leave. There's got to be a little dirt to keep us here, So that's the disclaimer, because I'm not making this video to try to, it's not about inducing guilt and shame and like, oh no, I'm never going to get it, No, it's not that. What we're doing here is we're looking at stuff. We're looking at stuff that usually the mind don't want to look at. Because when you don't look at something, it continues. The mind wants to perpetuate and propagate these things and make them continue. It's noise. You hear that? That's the garbage truck. So they play that song so then people know, like, oh, the garbage truck is coming. Okay. It's going to start up again, I think. The whole point is to just have some awareness of, you can say, our defects of character or shortcomings as a human being that prevents or delays or blocks our spiritual growth. That's all. Be aware of your assets too. Yeah. So then you're not like, it's not imbalanced. You're not just like, oh, I'm so messed up, just 100% messed up. No, you're look at the positive also. But positive's cool. That's not making you trouble. So we're looking at the negative, not because we're negative, because we're positive. We want to look at the negative so that then the more it dissolves, then the less obstructions there's going to seem to be for like recognizing, you can say, our inner serenity that's inside, that's being blocked by these addictions, attachments, etc. Well, how does it block it? Why do these addictions block, you could say, our true nature or our uncaused joy? How does it block it? It's because addictions and attachments, it keeps the mind busy. It's like our mind, any obsessive compulsive thinking is keeping us out. Our true inner spiritual nature's in. Okay? To put it simply. So if we're always thinking about getting a beer or getting high or scoring some weed or making money, okay, I want to make $1 million. Okay, I got the $1 million. I want to get 10 million. Our mind's constantly thinking about earthbound stuff, material stuff. So our mind is going to be like always in that gear. So how are we going to recognize our spiritual nature if our mind's always busy? Addictions, attachments make our mind busy. So we've realized now that the mind needs some purification, meaning it's like an ink bottle that's dirty, and you take clean fresh water and pour it in the ink bottle. If you keep doing that, all that dirt's coming up, and finally the water starts to look cleaner and lighter. This is what we're doing here. This channel's about that. It's about positive things that we can do to raise the vibration of our being, so that then somehow we have the subtle awareness and power to drop our attention inside to recognize our true nature. But in order to do that, we also have to look at the things that we're doing that keep the vibration low and our mind noisy. See, we can't just, so I've shared before about how beach and nature supports us, okay, but if we have a bunch of addictions and attachments that's keeping our mind busy, but then we say, okay, but I'm going to go into nature because he says that's going to support us, it's like cancels out each other. We got to do both. We do the high vibrational things, good diet, seeing retention, good company, nature, but also We have to look at the things that are obstructing us. So we're kind of hitting it from both angles. That accelerates our spiritual growth. That's what this channel's for, how to accelerate it. So you become aware of these things that you're doing, these addictions and stuff, and you just be conscious. You start being conscious about it. Consciousness is the best way to transform something, but don't put a measuring stick on it. And don't let your mind beat you up for doing it. See, the mind tells you to go do an addiction and then beats you up for doing it. Catch that out. Let the karma play out. You're doing the best you can do all the time. Remember that. You just want to expose what your addictions are, and then you start to give some attention to that and start to let intuition guide you how to be free of that. And then you can use earthbound tools also to help you. You can go to, they have 12-step meetings now for everything, literally. Caffeine Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous and Sex Addicts Anonymous. They got everything. So utilize those tools that God put here to give you some support, because then you're around others and you'll be in that fellowship of people like trying to do the same thing as you. That gives some energetic support. And you let these habits and addictions die out. Some addictions you can just stop. Some people can just stop. They're just done. I'm putting the cigarette down, I'm done. Others, it's kind of, I put it down, oops, I relapse, Beyond the Alchemy channel, you see that. Like, I have, 6 months free from PMO. Oh, I lost it. That's okay. Like, this is life. This is the process. We signed up for this game. It's a hard game. It's not easy. Understand that. The mind says it should be easy. Why am I failing? It should be easy. I'm stupid. Catch that out. Recognize that that's nonsense. And that's all you do. You start trying to better yourself, but you don't judge yourself. You got to be cool about it. Otherwise, you're just making more stress. It would have been more easy just to not even try. But no, we can't do that either. Because once something inside you wants to transform, you can't turn that off. So you have to transform. But do it intelligently. You do the best you can do. You look at these things. You look at these obstructions and faults, defects that are keeping you small. And you become willing to transform and rise above that. That's what you do. But you let the process take its place. Some of your addictions, maybe you can quit immediately. Other addictions, it might take a little longer time. And then you might find one addiction, it's just like, man, Jesus, I've been working on this for decades and I can't stop. This is the play of life. It's okay. You're doing the best you can do. That's all we can do. You do the best you can do. And when you leave this body, you're going to be happy because you've done the best you can do. All right. So let me know any questions you have. I do private consultations if you guys wanted that. I have my emails on the banner. And some guys, they're like, where's your email? I'm like, it's on the banner. How do you miss it? I also have a channel for women that you can see, Divine Femininity. It deals specifically with the girl issues. And so that's it. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to cover all the things that can cause ruckus and restlessness in the mind. So we want to look at all that so that then they can start to dissolve and we can start to feel a sense of peace. That's our purpose of being on the planet. There's nothing outside that can give us what we already have. It's impossible. We can get short hits of euphoria, making some money, getting a new relationship, getting a new car. It feels good. It's cool. They're here to enjoy those things. But it doesn't, they wear off. We're trying to find that thing that doesn't wear off. That's the purpose of these channels. Have a good day.